I had a late lunch and a bigger lunch than usual, so I have something after the stream. Thanks, Vienna. I think 3 pre-seasons is enough to get Dan back in shape, so this time it should go better. It's just back into the groove of things. Hey, Pinochle. Well, Dan's body doesn't recover quite as well, and he needs to eat smaller, more frequent meals to maintain his strength. Like, he's just slow. Like, he got stuck there a little bit. He's just getting stuck in this cream. Younger players don't have to deal with that, but it's just something you deal with when you're aging. But what Dan hopes to draw from here is all of his experience. That's where he has people outmatched. He knows what it's like to go a career without winning the big one. It's easy when you're just starting out. You think if this season's not working well, you just look on the next season. Dan can't do that. He knows that that's not how things work. Hey, Tyson's. Dan took a hit there. But sometimes the hardest hits are the ones that motivate you the most. Alright, Dan did it this time. This is Dan's season. Hey, Sonic. Dan's running out of the tunnel now. The fog machines are a little more advanced than before, but the pig skin feels the same in his hands. Dan, this is gonna... You were in that cushy job at CBS for who knows how many years. This is gonna be a little bit harder than that. These guys hit hard. Fortunately, you get... Week 1 is Cleveland at home. In a show of good faith, Cleveland wanted to forfeit the game, but the commissioner did not allow that. So Cleveland is playing, but they're really not putting their heart into it because they too want to see Dan win and they want to be part of this magical season. So they're just letting Dan run to the end zone here. He just set the record for most consecutive decades between rushing touchdowns. Second place on that chart would be Ricky Williams. But Ricky can't smell that record. Dan showed him great reflexes there. Not many people can make that jump. And every time your feet leave the ground on the field, you're putting your body at risk, but Dan knows what's at stake here. Week 3, though, Dan really struggles in week 3. He has the lowest winning percentage in week 3 of any quarterback. They're going to Denver here. It's just, you can't... That altitude change is just really hard on Dan's aging body. He's going to have a lot of balls sailing here. If Dan doesn't come out of week 3 without at least something close to a victory here, it's going to be very hard to keep his team motivated to keep trying for the rest of the season. Miami is prepared to forfeit the remaining games should Dan show signs of struggling too much. Because they know Dan's not going to quit, so they have to pull the plug. As a competitor, Dan's still 21. Alright. 2-minute drill time. And suddenly now it's 10-second drill. Let's see if Dan still has it. He needs to put up at least a positive showing here. Dan, he did the bare minimum to stay alive here. It's not looking very good. He's going to have to learn from this experience going forward if he's going to have any shot here. He's a little premature there. The timing just wasn't quite there, and that's where sitting out of the game for 20 years really catches up to you. Players move a lot faster these days. I mean, this is a home game now, but it's no walk in the park here. This could be the nail in the coffin for Dan's season. And also Miami, so they don't even have another quarterback on their roster. That's how confident they are in Dan. So they're prepared to forfeit the rest of the games. Dan's showing some magic. He just took 20 years off his body there. Don't count Dan out just quite yet. Let's see if we can have a little fun here. Gonna send some love out to the fans and supporters. Oh, Dan, stick to the football. He tried to get cute there. And you start messing around, that starts to affect you mentally. Dan's gonna realize that he needs his mind in this game. If he's out there joking around with the crowd and stuff, trying to be funny, it's gonna come back to haunt him. Those players below him look up to him as a leader, and they see him goofing off. What are they gonna do? You know, he needs to understand the impact he's having on the rest of his teammates right now. There is a time to have fun, and it's not this season. Only when you're holding up the Lombardi trophy, that's when you can have some fun with the crowd. Dan's in the film room. It's become it's a lot different looking than when he was last looking at film. But an hour spent in he can't spend an hour on the field anymore. He can spend an hour in the film room though. You got to make it up somewhere. Ooh, Dan's struggling a little bit there. Mid-season hiccup. I mean, nobody's going to have a perfect season. So now we get to see how is Dan going to respond to things not going so well. He recovered beautifully early in the season, but the later you get, those away games start getting a little bit colder. Now, how's that going to affect his aging body here? We saw what it did to Brett. No, you don't really want to hit that Minnesota turf. That Minnesota ground when it's chilly out. It doesn't get any softer the older you get. Alright, Dan's looking pretty good here. Things aren't going perfectly, but you know, he's showing that he can do it. When Dan's on, he can keep up with some of these players. You know, he's not going to be the fastest person on the field, but he'll be in the right place more often than not. So if he can just stay step ahead, 2 steps ahead mentally, he can afford to be 1 step behind physically. And it's just a game of logic and numbers at this point. Dan knows that his margin of error is a little bit smaller than everyone else's on the field. So we've arrived at a point in the season nobody saw coming. Miami's first in the division. Now, if they fall behind, there's really no way that they're going to catch back up. So This is the wave Dan has to ride till the end of the season, end of the playoffs. Let's end the season on a positive note here. He wins this game. Miami's gonna... The road to the Super Bowl is gonna go through Miami. He doesn't... The road's gonna be a little bit tougher. It just depends on the way the ball bounces here. Better take some insurance for Dan. Yeah, but the policy paid out. These insurance options weren't available when Dan was last in the league, so he's taking advantage of it. Alright, Miami secured home field advantage through the playoffs and a first round bye. Which is, the first round bye is more important than anything else because Dan needs to recover after that grueling regular season. Looks like Miami's suffering some injuries during their bye week. This is going to hurt them a little bit. It's not a good look for Miami there. Alright, Dan's back in action. This is the first playoff game for Dan in a very long time. It's off to a good start. But all these teams that he's playing are equally good at this point. It's like, who wants it more here? I think Dan's exceeded just about everybody's expectations here. But it's not going to exceed Dan's expectations. Alright, Dan is in excellent position here. Nobody could have seen this coming from Miami. Dan's getting younger as these playoffs are going on. I think the adrenaline's just taking over. And Dan's pretty slow here. Shouldn't have tried to rush it there. It's gonna hurt up Dan a little bit. But sometimes fate just steps in. Miami suffered some critical injuries to key positions there, but they are advancing. But how far can they go? I think nobody saw this coming from Miami this season. I mean, we all thought it was a big publicity stunt, and the league was crazy for making all these accommodations for Dan. But it turns out when the league is structured around one player succeeding, that player's probably going to succeed. Very good for Dan. Now we're gonna need to get a nice carrot pea here, and that's something that definitely gets harder as you age. I don't know if Dan's gonna be able to do this, but I know he's gonna try. These carrot peas don't get any easier. Alright, that was a decent pea. And the season's not over yet, still. So Dan's probably feeling some things that he hasn't felt in a very long time, not since he last competed. The heart's going a little bit harder than it usually does. You can't replicate that stuff in the gym. Dan's just gonna have to kind of feel this out at this point. His teammates are still there. This is a grueling AFC Championship game. Fourth quarter. Can Marino make it to the Super Bowl? Dan's putting on some flashy moves here. He's in a good mood. His mind, I think Dan's mind is in the right spot. But is his body going to hold out here? I don't know, but somebody his age with that amount of pressure, I don't see it happening. Dan is giving himself a shot here. The odds are not in his favor, but Dan Marino, after all this time, is back in the Super Bowl. Now, is he going to falter in the first quarter? It's possible. Will he make it to halftime? Unlikely. I think if he can get to the first half, Dan has a pretty good shot. It's like, think of it as an uphill climb. Once you get up to the top of the hill, Dan can go down the hill, but I don't think he can get up that hill. But the TV ratings are great. Is there some Marino magic left? Dan's not going to play perfectly, but he doesn't need to. Dan's going to make this come right down to the wire, but I don't think Dan would have it anywhere. He does not want this to be easy. He's waited his whole life for this moment, and not many people get a second chance at this point. Dan's gonna do what Dan's gonna do. And I don't know how this is gonna... He made it to the second half, but Miami's tied. And if this thing goes to overtime, Dan's at a significant disadvantage here. He needs to be ahead after this next possession. Alright, we're right on the line here. I don't know what Dan's gonna do. Is he gonna play for the win or is he gonna play for overtime? I think he's gonna just assume things are good. He's gonna assume that things are good. He doesn't need any more points. He's gonna rely on the Miami defense. But is it fast enough? I think they're just gonna barely squeak it out. I'm not sure though. Dan's made it to the fourth quarter. All he has to do is take a knee here. Dan, don't fake it. I know you want to. Don't fake it. Dan. Dan didn't fake it. Dan did not fake the knee. We got Dan his ring. All the other Miami players have decided to give their rings to Dan because he deserves that many of them for this performance. It's unprecedented. It's going to make for a 30 for 30. I mean, all these years, Dan had to hear about how he didn't have the ring. He would hold up his hand. There's no ring on it. There's no ring. All of his other co-hosts, they would flash their bling there. But Dan, you know, he could say he prefers getting more circulation to his finger. He doesn't like wearing a ring, but he really wanted one this whole time. So now he went back and he took care of business. I mean, he went from, you know, the man who just missed out to the man who reversed missing out. Nobody else does it. Nobody else can do that. But Dan found the way. The City Council of Miami has worked with the state of Florida, and it appears that for the next year, Miami will be known as Dan, and the state of Florida will be renamed to the state of Marino. So all residents of Miami now live in Dan Marino. You don't see that level of bipartisanship at any level of government, but certain events of our lifetime just transcend all politics, all conflict. Dan Marino is the human specimen, and we just never even knew it. And we can all thank Dandy Man 4 for motivating Dan Marino to come out of retirement and give it one more go in this reduced NFL season. So thank you, Dandy Man, for ending all conflict and righting what has been wrong for so long. Dandy Man 4. That one was for you. Alright, the recording is concluded.